This is an example that I'm gonna go over. This Samantha Silva requested for this, that I have to go over example 1 in PowerPoint number 1, meaning lesson 5.1. And lesson 5.1 is about using fundamental identities. Okay? So, in this example, you have to know the identities, the basic identities that we talked about last time. I hope you still have that as your copy. Okay? Alright. So, going over now, we have here, in this example, we're going to use identities to evaluate a function. So, I have now a function, secant u equals negative 3 over 2, and tangent u is greater than 0, meaning the value of tangent is positive. And to find the values, you're going to use these, and you're going to use secant u equals negative 3 over 2 and tangent u greater than 0 to find the values of all 6 trig functions. Okay, so to start with, we're going to use a reciprocal identity. So using a reciprocal identity of cosine. Okay, we know that cosine, you know it's 1 over secant u, right? So it means that we know that secant is negative 3 over 2, therefore plugging in the value of secant, which is negative 3 over 2, then that becomes 1 over, this is our main fraction, so that should be in the front of this equal sign. Well, secant is negative 3 over 2, so thus applying division of fraction, which is the numerator, which is 1, multiplied by the reciprocal of the denominator, which is negative 3 over 2. So now we get the reciprocal, flip this, we will get negative 2 over 3. And of course, proceed to multiplication of fraction. Now you will have negative 2 over 3 as the value of your cosine, as the value of your, yes, cosine u. So now, using now Pythagorean theorem, Pythagorean identity, using Pythagorean identity, we're gonna use sine squared u plus cosine squared u equals 1. Well, I want the value of sine. I want sine because you see how we have a tangent right here. I need sine and cosine for me to get tangent. So I have cosine already. This is my cosine u, which is negative 2 over 3. That the next thing I need is the sine u. So solving for sine, so I'm gonna say sine u, sine squared u, move this over to the other side. That becomes now 1 minus cosine squared u. Okay? Because I'm trying to find sine. Then, of course, plug in, you know your cosine is negative 2 over 3, plug in here. So you will have 1 minus negative 2 over 3, but square it. Because we're squaring cosine. Cosine is negative 2 over 3. So, plug in here. So, cosine squared u will become negative 2 over 3 squared. And then, of course, clean this up. Cleaning up this side, the right side. So, sine squared u will be 1 minus negative 2 over 3 times negative, as your aside, you can put here negative 2 over 3 times negative 2 over 3. That would give you positive 4 over 9. So this become positive 4 over 9. So 4 over 9. So now 1 minus 4 over 9. I'm going to rewrite this into 9 over 9. That's still 1. The reason I want them to have the same denominator. So then that would be 5 over 9. Because 9 minus 4 is 5. Copy the denominator. Well, I want sine only, not sine squared. So square root both sides here. So the square, that cancels. So sine u is equal to, and then split the radical. Square root of 5 over square root of 9. That will give you square root of 5 over 3. So your sine u now is square root of 5 over 3. Okay. Okay, hold on. Well, 5 over 9, yes. But I'm squaring it, right? Square root of 5 over 3. Okay, so we want, well, square root has two values. I want positive and one negative. But I want tangent u greater than 0. So it means if it's greater than 0, this needs to be positive. Well, my cosine is already negative 2 over 3. So therefore, I have to pick positive square root of 5. No, I have to pick negative square root of 5 over 3. Between positive and negative, I have to pick negative square root of 5 over 3. Because if I plug in here, I want my tangent to be positive. Well, I know that sine tangent is sine u over cosine u. So to make this positive, this needs to be the same sign as this. Well, the sign of cosine is already negative, which is negative 2 over 3. So I never have to pick sine as negative square root of 5 over 3. So therefore, plugging in sine, which is, this is your sine. This is your cosine. So I'm dividing them. So negative divided by negative is equal to positive. So therefore, my sine would be negative square root of 5 over 3. I'm gonna do a shortcut here. Divide by cosine u, so that would be times u, which is the value of sine is negative square root of 5 over 3. And the value of cosine is negative 2 over 3. So therefore, if I'm gonna divide this, I will multiply the numerator, which is negative square root of 5 over 3, by the reciprocal of the denominator, which is negative 2 over 3. So negative, and that means negative 3 over 2. And if you look at this, simplifying further, that's cancel out. Negative times negative is positive. So therefore, I will have this time square root of 5 over 2 as the value of my tangent. So tangent u is equal square root of 5 over 2 as my final answer. Okay? Any question on that?